Well, first we had Brexit, which was then followed by remorse, was the phrase people were using. And now it seems like we've got Brexit, where Kiwis are being perhaps told that it's time to get out of the UK. I'm overplaying that a little bit. There potentially is going to be changes in the UK stopping New Zealand citizens from going, as we have for many a year, based on our ancestry. The Sydney Morning Herald reported this, quote, "Britain's government is shutting the door on international students and foreign workers, announcing a harsh new policy to prevent overseas workers from, quote, taking jobs British people could do," end quote, in moves that could affect New Zealanders and Australians wanting to live, work and study in the UK. Now in their defence, I guess, Dean, in their defence, it's not really aimed at New Zealanders or Australians.
Yep.
It's aimed at people from within Europe coming to the UK, but it might catch up New Zealanders and Australians who want at 18, 19, 20, 21 to do their OE.
Yeah, it already does. I mean, the government under David Cameron reduced the time the New Zealanders can stay, and they've got to come back to New Zealand and apply for another visa to head back. What's concerning here is, of course, it's the same issue that's happening in New Zealand at the moment. And of course, Winston Peters has put out something on this today saying we've got to be more like Britain and protect the jobs for New Zealanders. But it's as you mentioned off camera, we're talking about Poles and Hungarians and people coming to honestly take jobs that no one else in Britain wants to take. They'd just rather take the dole or whatever the equivalent is. It's
interesting as well, and you can relate it to New Zealand about the migrants coming to New Zealand, taking jobs, working I don't mean taking jobs, it's a ridiculous redneck thing to say, but working in areas that we need people like for example, building houses or building buildings in Christchurch at the moment. We're 50-odd thousand people short to do the work that we need to do. But I always think there's this red herring put out that if New Zealanders could do the jobs, and I kind of go, well, if New Zealanders could do the jobs, why aren't New Zealanders doing the jobs? What's the situation that's stopping New Zealanders being those 50,000 builders in Christchurch, for example?
Well, one of the things is we have low unemployment in New Zealand, and some of that low unemployment is people that can never work anyhow. And the jobs pay good money, but we don't have the skilled people. Basically, we've missed an opportunity by focusing on the wrong things at school. I think we haven't got we haven't got the right skills in the workforce. But some of our young people went to Australia for better money when it was better money over there, and now it's better money here, and they haven't come back yet. So you know, we do employ people that have the skills from overseas, but then they're not permanent. They work, they make their money, they've left Christchurch, they've gone to Auckland, then they'll go somewhere else.
This is not a part of this story, but there was sort of a separate conversation that sprung up for me in this. I don't mean to draw a long bow here, but I'll tell you what it made me think. I'm not a Republican, i.e. someone who believes New Zealand should be a republic. Mind you, I'm not a monarchist either. In fact, it's something that I don't really care about. You know, I don't really mind. We know that, you know, there are historical ties, etc. to it. But I have to be honest, I mean, my grandparents are born in Belfast, so that's part of Northern Ireland, which is part of the UK. My wife's dad was born in England, sort of thing. So if we lost this, if this went away for us, I honestly would see no reason to stay in the Commonwealth. No. You know, like this seems to be an ancestral connection we have, and a right that we sort of have based on being involved with the Commonwealth for a long time. This would be the kind of thing that if it happened, would make me go, nah, let's get out. Let's bail.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't believe that we're still having this debate in 2016. We should be, like South Africa attends the Commonwealth Games, and it's a republic. It hasn't got a Governor-General, and the new Governor-General, Dame Patrick, was last week, and you think, well, it's a lot of money just to shuffle around the place and wave and smile at the crowds, and we host royal tours. I mean, why?
So I guess UK, you are on warning. If you take away our ancestral rights to come stay and play, then we're going to pick up our bat and ball and go back to the South Pacific and leave you alone.